everybody, welcome back to my channel. And guess what today? Okay, first of all, let me just say, do not mind my nails. I'm taking them off because they're starting to lift up. Let me see, am I getting it? Yeah, they're starting to lift up. I was moving my king bed in my room and moving my full bed out of my room, and I broke this one, and this one broke inside, so it went up like that. This one did, so now they hurt, and this one also did the same thing, like it went up. So I'm taking them off, whatever. But today is Monday, and I've really been slacking on these mommy Mondays. Like, seriously, I've been trying to keep this routine to keep the mommy Mondays going, but it's hard when you have two babies to look after. It's so easy to just do my makeup and keep it moving and edit that and whatever, but it's kind of hard to stick to like a certain everyday type of thing. But I'm going to stick to it because I like talking about my babies, so this is how I talk about them. So this Mommy Monday is going to be about the day that I found out I was having twins and how it felt for me to figure that out, like, what was going on in my brain and all. So you might also hear the twins in the background because they are in a bouncers and they bounce themselves in the bouncers, so that will be the noise and their voices will be the noise, but who cares anyway. Let's get this January 20th. The morning of January 20th, I had two names picked out for a girl and a boy because I did not know I was having twins. I was 6 months. I did not know I was having twins at all. So I had two names picked out. My mom came up with the name Mahlani because I like the name Kaylani. And my mom was like, well, what about Mahlani? Because Monia, Mahlani. And I'm like, yes, I really like that. And I love the name Malachi. Whoa. Love the name Malachi. So I stuck with the name Malachi or Mahlani. I wrote it on a blue sheet of paper. And I'm going to see if I can find that paper. So this is the blue piece of paper that I had wrote on before my ultrasound to basically find out if it was a girl or boy. This is the piece of paper that I had wrote the names on. And I was figuring out how I wanted to spell Mahlani. My brother thought it would be like Meilani, but I didn't like that. So Mahlani name is Mahlani, Kalia, Khaliyah. So Mahlani Kalia. And then for a boy, it would have been Malachi Christopher because my mom's name is Chrissy. So it would have been Malaki, and then Christopher with a K. On this piece of paper, I basically, wrote their names all over this, and it's just crazy. So down here, I wrote Mahlani or Malachi at 11:27 a.m. and this was January 20th. I always keep that piece of paper because it's just so much memories just to be like, look, I thought I was going to have a boy or a girl, and look, I had two. So basically, we went to the ultrasound. I booked the ultrasound a day that my brother could be able to go because he wanted to go too to find out if it was a boy or girl. So I'm not for sure what day is January 20th, but that day. I'm waiting, So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for my ultrasound to start or whatever. And I'm getting so anxious. And I remember talking to a lady and she's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want a girl so bad. And she's like, the way your belly is shaped, you're going to have a girl. And da-da-da-da. So I'm like, yes. Alright, so I finally, go in there. And like when they first doing your ultrasound and stuff, they don't want people with you. Or at least when I was doing it, they didn't want people to come in the room with me. So they got to take tests and all of that stuff. So I remember laying back on the bed, and laying on my back was very painful for me. And And I never understood why. Like, I just could not lay on my back for anything. Like, the pressure of my belly would hurt really bad. So, she started to do the ultrasound, and I'm like, I'm starting not to breathe. I'm getting high. Can I take my sweater off? So she's like, yeah. And then I'm like, I'm starting to get lightheaded. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I feel like I'm going to pass out. So she's like, you know what? She can't lay on her back. You got to prop her up a little bit because something might be messing with her and she can't breathe. But she didn't want to say, like, 2 babies. Like, the pressure of the 2 babies. So she's doing the ultrasound, and she's like, do you know what you have? And I'm like, no, but I really want to find out, yada, yada, yada. So she's like, oh, okay. And then she screams. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And she's like, nothing. I'm like, is this something that I did? And she's like, yeah, basically. And I'm like, what? And, like, what did I do? And she's like, well, I'll tell you later. So I turn and I'm looking at the monitor. And I see, like, what it looks like 2 baby heads. So I'm like, wait a minute. Is that 2 babies? Like, am I looking at this correctly? And she's like, I'll tell you later. Just let me finish doing what I'm going to do. And I'm like, look, this lady is getting snotty. Like, just answer my questions. Like, why aren't you answering me? Let me know something. So she did all her tests, and it took a really long time. And I wasn't understanding of why it took such a long time. But because she had to do one baby, check one baby out, and then check the other one out. But at the time, I'm like, why is this taking so long? So she's like, what's your mom and your brother name? I'm like, Chrissy and Terrell. And she go get them. So she brings them in, and she's like, okay, well, I can't see what the gender is. And I'm like, what? Like, I started to be like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I say it all this time for you to figure out what the gender is, and you cannot figure out what the gender is. And she's like, well, I can't figure out what the gender is because it's 2 babies, and they're too close together for me to see. And my face is just like, my brother started crying. My brother was like, and he started crying, like, immediately. My mom started crying, and I'm still sitting there like, didn't I just ask you? Was that 2 babies on a monitor? Why didn't you answer me? Like, I just asked you that and you didn't answer me. And she's like, well, because you said you wanted your brother and your mom in here to figure out, y'all can figure out together. So this is what y'all can figure out together. Surprise. And I'm just sitting there like, bruh, I could not believe that I was having twins. First, I was nervous because I'm like, not only am I finna have 1 baby, but I'm literally finna have 2. So I'm finna go from 0 to 2 babies in a heartbeat, and there's no babies in the house. I am the youngest of 2 kids. So it was kind of crazy. Like, there's never been a baby growed up in our house, like, and it's gonna be 2, not even 1, 2. So what I did not know is that twins ran really good on the twins' father's side. So I'm just thinking, like, where did they come from? So afterwards, like, my mom was really happy. We got the ultrasound. She took a picture of it. I took a picture of it. We had to post it. Twins. And I immediately called the twins that, like, no, I texted him first. And I'm like, I'm having twins. And he texts back, like, what? So when he said what, I'm like, okay, well, he don't know. Well, you know where they came from either. So, like, where is these twins coming from? So he calls. But at the time that he calls, I'm talking to, like, a nurse or a doctor, whoever you want to call these people. I'm talking to them, so I could not answer. So I call him back. I go in, like, a little hallway, and I call him back. Because they send me back to the waiting room, and they say, we're going to call you so we can, just check you out in your private area and all of that. And all of that. So I call him and, step out in the little hallway, call him. And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you really finna have twins? And I'm like, yeah. Do twins even run in your family? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what? How did I miss this? Like, how did I miss this? He said, yeah. And I'm still like, okay. Like, he told me about his family and, like, who was a twin and all of that stuff in his family, which I'm not really going to get in detail about that because there's no point of that because that's not what the video is about. So, he said, yeah, you know, and I was still in shock. Like, this is crazy. Like, I am finna have twins. So, basically, after doing all of this work, figure out names and all that, boy or girl, I was back to square one, and back to square one times two. Like, back to square one as in picking out names, but two. Because they couldn't see what gender the babies were at the time, or what gender the twins were at the time. Um, I was just going off of false hope from myself that they were girls, but if they were boys, I also had to come up with names for boys too. It was like really hard. Like, first, I go from trying to predict if I'm having a girl or a boy for one, and I have to predict if I'm having a girl or boy for two, like two girls and two boys, or one girl and one boy. And like, shopping was ridiculous because you gotta buy, girl stuff and boy stuff, or just neutral color stuff. But like, me and my mom and my family, well, we told family members to buy neutral stuff, but like my mom, my granny, my aunt, they bought both girl and boy stuff. So when I had came home that day, I made this piece of paper. And basically, this piece of paper is, figuring out two names. I always like Malik and Malachi. So that was easy for me. So right here would have been Malachi Kyle or Malik Christopher. So behind those names, Malachi Chris. If it was one boy, his name would have been Malachi Christopher. For my mom named Chrissy. If it was two boys, I love the name Malachi Kyle. Malachi Kyle. I love that. So if it was two boys, I would have took the middle name Christopher and gave it to Malik. So it would have been Malachi Kyle and Malik Christopher. But if it was one boy, it would have been Malachi Christopher. Get what I'm saying? So that's where that came from. Two boys. And then I like wrote it in cursive. But at the time I was writing out sloppy, so don't pay attention to that. And then right here, I could not figure out what I wanted a girl name to be. I went from Mariah, Mia, and Madison. I love the name Madison. Madison Kylie. So it could have been Malachi Kyle and Madison Kylie. But my mom did not like the name Madison or Kylie. Why? I have no idea. So, we already had Mahlani. We already had Mahlani down. And my mom came out the kitchen and was like, what about Mahliyah? Yes, Mahliyah is such a beautiful name. So that's where we got Mahliyah. So for the middle names for Mahliyah and Mahlani, we could not figure out middle names, but I wanted them to keep my MK. If you guys cannot see that going on, my name is Monia Kentrice. That's why I go by Monia K. So that's why I would have been Malachi Kyle, Malik Christopher, or Malachi Christopher and Mahlani Kalia. So basically, Mahlani, I decided to do double on a name for the girl's name. So it would have been, it is Mahlani Kalia, Mahliyah Kaylani, to make the middle names rhyme with each other first names. So basically, it is Mahlani Kalia and Mahliyah Kaylani. And I love that because, first of all, I did not know I was carrying twins until I found out when I was 6 months. So they bonded everly so well in my belly that they just, stuck onto each other and held onto each other, and they was born everly so healthy. Without me even knowing that I was carrying twins, they were so healthy. And I felt like that was a good bond for them. So I felt like I wanted their names to be bonded together so they will always have some type of bond forever. So Mahlani Kalia and Mahliyah Kaylani. And I love those names. MK times 3. Basically, it was just such a rocky roller coaster. After that, not really. Everything went smooth. But it was just like such a big shock to even find out that somebody like me was having twins. Like, I never pictured myself ever having twins. But I knew that if I had twins, I would want 2 girls. I always pictured myself with a girl. And I wanted 2 girls. And I got my 2 girls. Like, I was like really scared every day. Like, what if I had 2 boys? I never pictured myself with a boy. 1 boy, let alone 2 boys. I never pictured myself with, you know, 2 boys. But I kind of went off of the twins' dad, other kids, because he already had 2 daughters and 1 son. So I'm like, it's more likely for you to have some more girls, because obviously you're not really producing boys too well. So I kind of went off his other 2 kids, and I remember like me and him going back and forth, like, you're having 2 boys, and I'm like, no boy, I'm having 2 girls. Like, I sit high and I feel high kicks. Like, I'm having 2 girls. And then I remember doing like midwife tales, and it was like, if the father gains weight during the pregnancy, then you having a girl. So I screenshotted it to him and was like, these are little girls, because he was just eating and eating, and I wasn't eating like he was eating. So basically it was that, you know, and I got my 2 girls. And yeah, so that's basically how I found out I was having twins, which is still shocking to me. You hear that? Still shocking to me. Yeah, so that's it for my Mommy Monday. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the little bell for notifications so you don't miss any more videos from me. You can get notification when I upload videos. And just make sure you stay tuned to my channel. Like, I'm going to make sure I keep this channel rolling and flowing right. I cannot say I'm going to have a steady date, you know, Monday. I would like to do Monday, Wednesday, Sunday. But sometimes it does not happen like that. So I will upload when I upload. Just be patient with me, be steady with me, and keep rocking with me. And I love y'all. I love the new subscribers, and welcome to my channel if you are a new subscriber. And if you are already subscribed, thank you for rocking with me, like I said. And new subscribers, welcome to the family. Anyway, I'm out. I tried to do this before at 10:30 so I can get this up before 12 o'clock. So it won't be like Tuesday once it hit 12 o'clock. So I think I did a good job. It's 10:57 right now, and I started at 10:30. So I took about 20-something minutes, 30-something minutes, whatever minutes to do this. And I'm going to get this up real quick. Because Mahliyah is sick, so I had to tend to her a little bit. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.